After some riveting presentations from the esteemed dignitaries, we are now here to listen to our young paper presenters. We are hopeful that this session will be equally enriching and we will get to listen to some of the experiences from the budding entrepreneurs as well. In the post-lunch session, we have with us Shujatro Bhattacharya. He is an associate professor in economics at Maharaja Srish Chandra College. He is also a visiting faculty at the Department of Commerce, Radio Physics and IT at the University of Calcutta. And he is also acting as a PhD supervisor under University of Calcutta. He is presently a member of Undergraduate Board of Studies in Economics, University of Calcutta. Sir, would you please come to the dais? Thank you, sir. I would now like to request Mohammed Sujayat, who is also a very budding and a very intellectual entrepreneur and a very good student. He will felicitate our guest. A big hand, please. Thank you, Shujayat. Thank you, sir. Although Professor Bhattacharya needs no introduction, but you know that we have to maintain a formality. So here is a very brief introduction. Professor Bhattacharya holds a PhD in economics from Jadavpur University.
Hello.
Dr. Bhattacharya has authored books in microeconomics, macroeconomics, Indian economics, and finance with Oxford University Press, and published many articles in Scopus Indexed, IEEE Explore, and peer-reviewed journals. He has edited books, Springer Nature, and other newspapers as well. He acted as a resource person for MWC under Swayam. He has presented several research papers and also acted as a resource person in different national and international conferences. He has also served as an associate editor of the peer-reviewed journal OrthoBicon. He has an academic experience of more than 25 years. So we are indeed lucky to have Professor Shujatro Bhattacharya with us. So without further ado, I will now hand this session in the able hands of the chair. And I would now like to request Kaushal Barnwal, our very dear student, to, he is the first paper presenter.
Hello. Hello.
There is a brief addition. Sana Tahasin is also the joint presenter. She has also scripted the paper with Kaushal. He is going to present the paper. But Kaushal is going to read the paper.
Hello. Yeah, hi. Welcome back, I guess, everyone. And good afternoon once again. And being the first presenter today, I would like to first thank all the teachers, professor, and all the back office members for helping us organize this very beautiful seminar or conference, or rather international conference. You know, before I start, I would also like to wish every teacher a very belated Happy Teachers Day. And I believe every student, rather every entrepreneur or any other person is shaped very heavily by their professors and teachers. Coming back to the seminar topic, or rather my presentation topic, this research paper has been written uh, by me, and I was immensely helped by our professor, Miss Sana ma'am. Thank you so much for that. And the topic for today is a comparative study on financial challenges and growth perspectives of women-led MSMEs in India and Bangladesh. As we already know that the MSME sectors, the MSME business or the entrepreneurship is growing in both the countries, rather in entire Southern Asia, right? If anyone can help me with the number of MSMEs right now in India, can anyone help me? We are sitting in a commerce college. Can anyone help me? Rather a rough number. What do you think is the number of MSMEs? Sir, Chairman, sir, if you can help me, or anyone, any number. What do you think it must be? Anyone? How many number of MSMEs are there in India? We have a population of 1.4 billion dollar. Sorry, dollar I'm saying. But how many number of MSMEs do you think? Any number, 1 crore, 2 crore, how much? How many? Okay, I give you a chance. You can use AI.
You are actually presenting the paper.
Yeah, I know, sir. I know, sir. We need what we want.
No, you have to write out the question to others.
Okay, my apologies for that. So I'll come. Yeah.
Please present your paper.
Okay, got it.
Just present your paper.
Sure, got it. So it's 6.4 million MSMEs right now, which is being, it's there in India right now. As compared to Bangladesh, it's only, I guess, 8 million. Coming to the point where, women's led. So exactly what we researched, and it's like 20 to.
Yeah, because we are running out of time. Let's try to complete it in 6 minutes. Okay, just focus on the objectives, methodology, and conclusion. Okay, otherwise you cannot finish.
So we have limited time for 6 minutes only, and directly jumping on the point where women-led MSMEs are there. So it's basically 20% in India, which has been really, led by women, as compared to in Bangladesh, it's only 10%. So coming to the objective part, the objective of the paper is basically to analyze and compare what are the problems each woman-led MSMEs are facing in both the countries, and what are the government schemes and other banking schemes that are helping them. And we have a recommendation on this particular paper too. The next point that we have already discussed is, there are 64 million MSMEs, which is in India right now, and 8 million in Bangladesh. So next slide, we want to compare the key matrices that is in India. It's around 2 crores MSMEs which are being led by women, and Bangladesh is around 50 lakhs. And when it comes to contribution to GDP, it's 8% in India and 5% in Bangladesh. Coming to the next point, the female labor point, it's India is in the growing phase where women participation has been declined, rather than comparatively to Bangladesh. It's only 35% as compared to 44% in our neighboring country. Next point we have is the problem faced by women in when it comes to leading any MSME is generally, the limited understanding of financial product. I am currently working as a financial consultant, and have recently seen, many women generally don't know the difference between which particular financial product they need for their business. And next, they have this hesitation, or they avoid getting loans or approaching any venture capitalist or any financial institutions for their financial needs. They have this limited family support when it comes to, we have a cultural biasness, we have a gender biasness. They have this limited family support or cultural support in their entrepreneurial journey, and they have this also limited networking skills too. Next, we have, what are the government schemes that are being helping these MSMEs, which are being led by women. Are, the PM Udyogini scheme is there, PM Mantri, Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana from India, and there's this in Bangladesh, there's Bangladesh Bank, and even government of Bangladesh recently introduced where every bank needs to keep a certain percentage of their funding to women-led MSMEs or women-led businesses. Yeah, sure, sir. So can we go to the next slide, since the time is limited? So coming to the next point where we have the recommendations for women-led MSMEs to help prosper the country, where the women are leading and the business will contribute more, is strengthening the access to finance. To make the when some women approach, we need to make tailor-made solutions for them. We need to improve the infrastructure and subsidize the rate, so they can get a subsidized interest when it comes to taking up loans. Promoting technological revolution, we can arrange seminars or conduct educational sections where they can learn about new technologies, and they can get need-based and training and skill development. So this is what we have. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So we will invite questions now or after the completion of all the papers.
So now, sir.
Huh?
Now.
Now.
Yes.
Okay. Any questions from
Yes,
the
I
audience?
have questions.
Yeah, sure.
See, how could you correlate the title of the seminar and your project. Please correlate it. My first question, and tell me the voluminous ratio of India and Bangladesh.
Ratio of what, sir?
India and Bangladesh. Yes.
In what terms? So you want a ratio?
In terms of size.
Okay. So coming to the second part first. In terms of size, the GDP first thing first.
No, not GDP.
Not GDP.
No,
So
that's
then
not
what-
GDP.
The
Size
numbers
of India.
in
Not
population.
economic size, but size of India.
In population terms, sir.
No. Geographical area.
Geographical area, sir.
Then why you are asking the question at the very beginning?
Sir,
That is not the way of presenting the papers. It is not the way.
Okay, that's fine. We just ask the second question, rather the first one.
right. So the thief, rather AI, how AI is helping, women, rather entrepreneurs in their journey. It's an international conference. I wanted to compare between two international bodies. In Southern Asia, I believe they are the most developing countries right now. The GDP growth rate in both the countries has been phenomenal. And this is one of the biasness that both the countries are facing when it comes to, having a brief business idea. So we just wanted to compare how they are being addressed and what are the help out that the government is helping them out. So this was our motive, or rather our objective in this particular paper.
So this is the basis of your selection. I can understand that this is the reason you have specified that for choosing India with Bangladesh.
Right.
But there is no relationship with AI.
Particularly not related to AI rather than finance.
Okay, that's fine. So we should call the next speaker Professor Gaurav Das.
Thank you.
Okay, I hope so. I am very much audible. I don't need the mic, I hope so. My topic is breaking barriers with empowering women, issues and challenges. So if we are talking about the empowering women, women empowerment ultimately refers that enhancing the women's control over their equal participation in social life, political life, economical life, means from the point of view of gender equation, equality, unequal opportunity. There is so much constraints are there to stop those constraints. Whenever we are giving more focus on women, to empower women that they can control their own decisions, they can control their own lives. Next slide. These are the characteristics I am not just in short I will tell you. It is in women empowerment ultimately we think about that greater degree of self-confidence, more participation in women in policy and decision making. We are talking about the women realizing full identity. They are creating awareness and capacity building and greater autonomy in women. So these kind of things are the main features of women empowerment. I'm skipping over this. This is my objective to explore the socio-economical and political barriers hindering the women empowerment. What are the problems are there? And now what is the impact and employment of women self-reliance, and that will evaluate the role of policy reform in promoting gender equality. And my research methodology, mainly I am using the secondary data, and the data is collected from the census report and different type of NGO publication, different research and academic journals. I have received all the literature I have collected. So what are the, if we are talking about the barriers, basically it is gender-based violence that we can see the NCRB data, domestic violence and sexual harassment in rising in India. Wage disparity is there, 20 to 30% less than of women are earn less than the men in the same field. In limited access to education, female dropout rate is more due to early marriage, socio-economic pressure and other pressure. Obviously, the access of education is limited, and other socio-cultural norms. Men-dominated social belief that women cannot take decision and all these things is the main barriers of women empowerment. Now, all these things, what is the main impact? The women economic independence, social mobility, education advancement, ultimately is flowing the path of empowerment. Now, if we're talking about the economical participation, Now, this is the barriers. The economical participation, there is what are the challenges we can say, wage disparity, there is a limited leadership roles. These are the main challenges. And for this, low economical participation of women hamper their financial independence, which is the most important one. Next one. Participation in education, their dropout rate is higher, their limited access to the education, their quality of education is low. Due to these reasons, what is the impact? Improved literacy rate and education levels have empowered women with better knowledge. This means they need more and more education to empower the women. Next one. Political representation needed. Right now we say for 2024 Lok Sabha election that 15% of the total parliamentary seats reflecting the women also. So the challenges are there: limited policy influence, reservation. Though there is a reservation in 33%, reservation in Panchayati Raj, but still low representation of women in politics result the under pressure of women-centric policies and weakness the influence in the legislative processes. Next one. Now, if we see that there is a number of empowerment schemes, Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, there is a national women policy for women to ensuring equal right. There is a Niti Aayog, different kind of program launches by Niti Aayog to giving the basic training, support mentoring, business finance, Pradhan Mantri Yojana. All these things are the basic schemes that help the empowering women in India. Education is the main. Education can take a very important role to empowering education, empowering women. The education promote legal awareness, that promote the higher paying jobs, entrepreneurial opportunities. Ultimately, all these things improving the women's access to the quality education. Ultimately, which gave them the confidence, economic independence, and ability to shape their own future. Next one. Now, if we're talking about the women empowerment in Indian point of view, there is a political empowerment. We can see Pradhan means from Indira Gandhi was there. We can see that Draupadi Murmu, our president, is there. Prashna Raj is India. So there is a Jayalalitha, powerful female chief minister. We can see there is a reservation seats of 33% seats were there. From the legal point of view, government different kind of.
1 minute.
Yes, ma'am. A different kind of government schemes are there, Ujjwala Yojana, Beti Bachao, as we have mentioned earlier. From economic point of view, entrepreneurship, Kiran Majumdar Shah, the founder of Bicon, one of the India's most successful self-made businesswomen. There is a 6 million self-help group, ultimately which help the women towards empowerment. Digital inclusion. This digital inclusion is very much important. Ultimately, through this digital scheme and the access of online market or financial services, we are talking about from the very beginning of our session that this digital inclusion helps the women towards more empowerment. From the education point of view, this obviously we can see the Kalpana Chawla, Sunita Williams. We can see the report that from 1951 there is a literacy rate from 8.86 from the point of view of women. Right now it will be 2021, it should be 7.3%. So ultimately we can say from the point of view of education, obviously there is a women are empowered. Next. From the social and cultural empowerment. Okay. The next one. This is the suggestion. This means awareness program is needed. First and foremost, priority should be given to the education, strict implementation of program. Women should be allowed to work and should be provided enough safety. The next one, ultimately I will conclude that women empowerment is a multi-phase process with collective effort and society, government and institution. Which policy reform are notable? There is a gap between the whatever the gap is there, to bridge between these gaps, different kind of education, digital literacy, all these things should be there to empowering the women. Next one. Ultimately, I want to show that obviously it is a era that where there is a era of digital. Everything should be digitalized. So if we give proper education to the women from the point of view of normal education as well as digital education and other factors like how to boost up their employability from the point of view of normal employment situation and from the point of view of digital employment situation, only then the women can be empowered and whatever the barriers are there, that can be break. Thank you so much.
So still it is not clearly related to AI. So
No,
there is
no,
one
definitely. I'll tell you it is not.
there is one scope because you have just spoke about the decision making. So
Yes.
if you just use AI there regarding decision making, then I think it will empower women more.
Definitely,
In a different way.
actually, I just want to stress out there is a subtopic as far as my knowledge. There is a subtopic of women empowerment. I just want to know if there is more education, not only the formal education, but also the digital education. Only then they can be more empowered
Yeah,
from the
you
point of
talked
view.
about digital literacy.
Obviously.
This is also the
I am not directly conclude with the AI, but I just want to show that digital literacy is equally important with empowering the women.
Okay, any questions?
No, it's all right. And one thing you could include with this, my thinking that
Definitely.
you could include the startups also. Yes, startups by the women. Few examples are there.
There is a knowledge.
Big startups are coming.
Yes, I have only mentioned one, but I should mention more and more.
That may be included.
Thank you for your suggestions.
Finally, submit the papers after review.
Definitely.
Please include this.
Thank you so much. Any other questions, sir?
No, thank you. Thank you, Gaurav. Next, Rima Halla.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rivandar and I have completed Master of Commerce from Nawabaliganj Mahavidyalaya. Today I will be presenting on empowering women entrepreneurship in India, breaking barriers through support system, network and impact of government initiatives. My focus will be on those challenges, support system and the impact of policies on women led in business. Women entrepreneurship is now a key driver of inclusive growth in India. But despite progress, women continue to face some challenges such as gender bias, limited access of capital, and the lack of mentorship opportunities. This presentation will explore these challenges and highlights how mentorship, support system, and government initiatives empowering women entrepreneurship. The objective of the studies will be to analyze the status of women entrepreneurship in India, to identify the barriers and the challenges they face, to examine the support mechanism, both government and private, to assess the skill development and education, and finally to recommend the strategies for empowering women entrepreneurs. This research is based on a qualitative approach. It uses secondary sources such as academic literature, government initiatives, policy report, and incubator case studies. From the literature, three major barriers emerge: access to finance, network and mentorship, and socio-cultural norms. On the positive side, mentorships can improve leadership. Government schemes like Startup India, Stand Up India help through awareness, and digital platforms such as Mahila Heart expand women to market. Women entrepreneurship are reshaping industries in India. Leaders like Kiran Majumdar Shaw, Falguni Nair, and Vandana Luthar have built path-breaking enterprises in India. At the grassroots, collective efforts such as Lijjat Papar Seva show how rural women can empower women entrepreneurship. Women-led startups are growing, but challenges remain. Gender bias, limited capital, weak network continue resistant and restrict their ability to scale. Again, gender bias, socio-cultural norms, and another gender bias, societal expectation, inadequate access, and credit rating are the biggest barriers. Cultural norms are continue to limit women's opportunities. Many women are expected to prioritize their family responsibilities, which reduce their mobility and confidence in pursuing the business venture. Changing this perception is crucial for this progress. Support mechanism for women in India include government scheme, mentorship program, easier access to finance. Initiatives like Stand Up India, Mudra Yojana, Startup India, Mahila Ihad expect women to market. Mentorship program is vital. Programs such like Indian Million Women Mentors, Fellowship by Reliance Foundation, Women Entrepreneurs Platform create opportunities for guidance and leadership development. Government initiatives like Stand Up India, Startup India, Mahila Ihad, Mudra Yojana play an important role supporting women entrepreneurs on India. Community and network support are equally responsible. Digital network and the local group help overcome isolation, facilitate market access, and promote peer learning. In conclusion, women entrepreneurship are an untapped economic force. By addressing the systematic barriers and strengthening how mentorship, network, and policy documents can drive India an inclusive and sustainable growth. Thank you everyone for your time and attention.
Thank you, Rima, for completing the paper within the time. According to you, what is the most important barrier?
There are most, I think,
Basically for the rural entrepreneur.
I think gender bias, limited access of capital. This is the most, I guess.
Okay.
And many women are still prioritize their family responsibilities. They somehow reduce their mobility, like for pursuing the business in business.
Okay, fine.
It is not related to AI still, but it's a entrepreneurship.
It's a very good presentation from I think you
Thank
have just
you, sir.
completed the master's.
Thank you, ma'am, for this opportunity.
That's very interesting. Next, Ujjoyini Pal.
Good afternoon, everybody. My topic is rural women entrepreneurs in developing economy with microfinance and self-help group, a study on Bankura district of West Bengal. I am focusing my study on Bankura district. So mostly my work is with the self-help group and the microfinance level. And the self-help groups, this is the community-based financial intermediaries comprising 10 to 20 women who pool their savings and provide credit to the members and income generating activities and household needs. Collective savings and internal lending mechanism are also there. There are bank linkage programs with a low amount of interest. Microfinance impacts small scale financial services that provides credit, savings and the insurance to the rural women who lack access to the traditional banking, enabling entrepreneurship and poverty reduction. Enhance access to capital for business ventures, improved household income and living standards, financial independence and decision-making power. Now, there are microfinance model in banking system. There is a group lending. Group lending means the women are from lending groups are collective loan guarantee, mutual support in repayment, social responsibility encouragement and risk reduction. There is another point, that is the individual lending and the village banking. Individual lending, we all know that the direct loans to the individual, higher amount of loan are there, effective loan management, and the village banking, that is the communal fund pooling, business training programs and community development. Next comes the impact of microfinance on rural women's business outcomes. Increase the access of capital due to microfinancing. They can access the minimum amount of loan with very minimal amount of interest. Increase income and improve livelihood, job creation and community development, skill development and education. Now, Self-help group status, financial inclusion, SHG. SHG serves as an alternative banking system for rural women across India. Access of formal banking systems, small loans with reasonable interest, savings and insurance facility. Women empowerment impact, significant improvement in social and economic status of rural women members, increase confidence and decision-making power, enhance household income generation, reduce dependency on money lenders. Economic development, contribution to the local economics through entrepreneurship and job creation initiatives, small business development and expansion, employment generation in rural areas, and community resource and improvement programs. Research objectives, what are my research objectives? These are economic empowerment through SHG skills. Examine how self-help groups enhance women's skill, confidence, decision-making ability and contributing to overall economic development. Second one, small-scale business promotion analysis. Understand a self-help group's promotion of household work and small businesses. Measuring income, potential and empowerment. বাঁকুড়া এবং বীরভূম এই যে ডিস্ট্রিক্টটা পুরোটা আছে এখানে আমরা গিয়ে দেখেছি ছোট ছোট ঘরে ছোট ছোট জায়গায় একটু একটু জায়গায় ওদের বিজনেস। কেউ বাঁশ দিয়ে কাজ করছে, কেউ মাটি দিয়ে কাজ করছে, কেউ গামছা বুনছে, কেউ একদম সুতি কটনের লুঙ্গি বুনছে, হাউস হোল্ড হ্যান্ডলুম একদম হ্যান্ডলুম দিয়ে। তো এটা ঘরে ছোট ছোট ঘরে এগুলো হচ্ছে থ্রু দ্য সেলফ হেল্প গ্রুপ অ্যান্ড থ্রু দ্য ক্যাশ ক্রেডিট লোনস। আমার মেথোডোলজি কোয়ালিটেটিভ অ্যান্ড কোয়ান্টিটেটিভ বোথ। আমি কোয়েশ্চেনার্স প্রিপেয়ার করেছিলাম, স্ট্রাকচার্ড কোয়েশ্চেনার্স ফর এইচএসজি মেম্বার্স, in-depth interview, open-ended question to the experiences, case studies with the successful HSG. সেলফ-হেল্প গ্রুপে গিয়ে তাদের যা যা সাকসেসফুল স্টোরিজ আছে, যা কাজ তারা করে, সেগুলো নিয়ে আমার কাজ, আমার ফিল্ড স্টাডিটা তাই। প্রাইমারি ডেটা আমি 3টে সাব ডিভিশন ঘুরে 9টা ব্লক থেকে ইন্টারভিউস জোগাড় করেছি। সেকেন্ডারি ডেটা নাবার্ডের কিছু রিপোর্ট আছে, NRLM রিপোর্ট আছে যেটা আমার এখানে উল্লেখ নেই, মিনিস্ট্রি অফ রুরাল ডেভেলপমেন্ট রয়েছে, সেন্সাস ডকুমেন্টস রয়েছে, রিসার্চ পাবলিকেশনস আছে। ভ্যালিডেশন, ক্রস ভেরিফিকেশন অফ ফাইন্ডিংস থ্রু মাল্টিপল সোর্সেস এনশিওরিং রিলায়েবিলিটি অ্যান্ড অ্যাকিউরেসি। কি রেজাল্টসে আমি যেটা দেখেছি, সেলফ হেল্প গ্রুপে জয়েন করার পর থেকে মহিলাদের ওখানকার যারা কাজ জানে কিন্তু তারা একে অপরকে সাহায্য করতে পারে না বা সাহায্যের সেই ক্যাপাবিলিটি বা সেই সময়টা তাদের নেই, তারা একটা দল তৈরি করে সেই দলটার মধ্যে তারা সময় বার করে এবং তাতে করে বহু মহিলা আমাকে বলেছে যে হ্যাঁ দিদি, আমার রোজগার যেখানে কিছুই ছিল না বা আমি 500-1000 টাকা কামাতাম, সেখানে সেলফ হেল্প গ্রুপের সাহায্যে আমি এখন 6000 টাকা অবধিও কামাই, আমার মান্থলি ইনকাম 6000 গিয়ে দাঁড়ায়। এবং তখন আমি জিজ্ঞেস করেছি সেটা দিয়ে তুমি কী করো? তারা বলেছে, অনেকে বলেছে সেটা আমার সেভিংসে লাগে, কেউ কেউ বলেছে আমার বাচ্চাকে আমি পড়াশোনা করাই। তো দিস ইজ দ্য গুড থিং। কিছু সাকসেসফুল কেস স্টাডিজ আমার কাছে আছে, যে পিকচার্সগুলো আমার নিজেরই তোলা। সেটা হচ্ছে সুরক্ষা HSG রয়েছে, বিক্রমগড় গোপাল নারায়ণ যখন স্বর্ণ যোজনা গ্রাম যোজনা ছিল সেখানকার গ্রুপ, তারা খুব ভালো, মানে জয়পুর ব্লক এমন একটা ব্লক যেখানে বি কিপিং ভেঞ্চার্স আর ভেরি হাইলি, যেখানে 4 থেকে 5 লাখ টাকা শুধু মধু এক্সপোর্ট করেই কামানো হয়। জয়পুরের যেহেতু মানে ইয়েটা খুব ভালো, কমিউনিকেশন অ্যাক্সেসটা ভালো অন্যান্য ব্লকসের থেকে, সেজন্য জয়পুরে 4 থেকে 5 লাখ টাকা অ্যানুয়ালি তারা প্রফিট করে শুধুমাত্র মধু বিক্রি করে। অঙ্কিতা নির্মল NRLM মহিলা গ্রুপ রয়েছে যারা স্যানিটারি প্যাড নিয়ে এখন কাজ করছে, মহিলাদের মেনস্ট্রুয়াল হেলথ এইগুলো নিয়ে। আমগোড়া আদিবাসী মহিলা উন্নয়ন সমিতি আছে যেটা ছাতনা ব্লকে আছে, ইন্টিগ্রেটেড ফ্যামিলি ক্লাস্টার দিয়ে তারা কাজ করছে। আমরা তারপর যদি সোয়াক অ্যানালিসিসে আসি, স্ট্রেংথ কি? হাই রিপেমেন্ট রেটস, তাদের বলছি আমরা, তারা লোন কিন্তু প্রপারলি পেমেন্ট করে, কম অ্যামাউন্ট অফ ইন্টারেস্ট, তারা কাজের সুযোগ নিয়ে পেমেন্ট করছে। স্ট্রং সোশ্যাল কোহেশন, তাদের দলেদের মধ্যে খুব ভালো নিজেদের মধ্যে আন্ডারস্ট্যান্ডিং, সবার নয়, কিছু অবশ্যই আছে। উইকনেস, লিমিটেড ফিনান্সিয়াল লিটারেসি, ইটস আ ভেরি উইক থিং, তারা ফিনান্সিয়াল বুক কিপিং, বুক রেকর্ডসটা তারা মেনটেন করতে পারে না। প্রপার অ্যামাউন্ট অফ লোন কীভাবে নেব, লোনটা কীভাবে শোধ দেব, ইন্টারেস্ট কতটা হবে, তারা গুছিয়ে সেটা ক্যালকুলেট করতে পারে না। গভর্নমেন্ট স্কিম ইন্টিগ্রেশন অপরচুনিটিস, technology adoption, and challenges socio-economic barriers আর funding dependency. ফান্ডিং ডিপেন্ডেন্সি যেহেতু তারা হিসেবটা ঠিকমতো করতে পারে না, সুতরাং সেই ডিপেন্ডেন্সিটা তাদের থাকতেই হয়। ইন্টারনাল ফ্যাক্টরস কি কি রয়েছে? ইন্টারনাল ফ্যাক্টরসের মধ্যে রয়েছে strong community bonds, collective savings culture, women's determination drive SSG success in Bankura district. Strategic application, leveraging group dynamics and government support to maximize microfinance impact on rural development. Not only government support but also non-government opportunities. NGOs are very poor. NGOs helps are very poor in Bankura district. Maximum NGO ra Bankura district e khub ekta helpful noy. গভর্নমেন্টের যা যা স্কিমস আছে সেই নিয়েই কিন্তু দলগুলো চলে, সেলফ হেল্প গ্রুপগুলো চলে। এক্সটার্নাল ফ্যাক্টরস, গভর্নমেন্ট স্কিমস, মার্কেট ডিমান্ড অ্যান্ড টেকনোলজিক্যাল অ্যাডভান্সমেন্ট ক্রিয়েট এনাবলিং এনভায়রনমেন্ট ফর গ্রোথ। Analysis process, systematic evaluation of internal capabilities and external opportunities for sustainable development planning. Microfinance through self-help group proves a transformative for rural women empowerment and economic development in Bankura. Thank you.
থ্যাংক ইউ ম্যাডাম। আমার জাস্ট আপনি একটা ইন্টারভিউয়ের কথা বলছিলেন, জেনারেলি কটা ইন্টারভিউ?
আমি আমার 9টা ব্লকে 40 জন, প্রায় 360 স্যাম্পলস ছিল।
ওকে, আর এখানে বেসিক্যালি বাঁকুড়া ডিস্ট্রিক্টের যে পলিসি প্রেসক্রিপশনস গুলোর কথা আমরা ভাবছি, সেটা কি অল ওভার ওয়েস্ট বেঙ্গল অ্যাপ্লিকেবল বলে আমার মনে হয় না।
অ্যাকচুয়ালি নয়, কারণ সবটা জায়গায় সব কিছুর ক্লাইমেট, তারপর তার জিনিস, যেখানে কি পাওয়া যাচ্ছে, মিনারেলস, কমোডিটি ক্যারেক্টার্স, এডুকেশনাল বেরিয়ার্স, এগুলো না প্রত্যেকটা ডিস্ট্রিক্টে খুব আলাদা, খুব আলাদা। থ্যাংক ইউ।
Next, I would like to call decoding women entrepreneurship landscape in India, which will be presented by Anisha Mukherjee, Ditankar Majumdar, and Dr. Rajashree. Nice to see Anisha and Ditankar here. I've taught them class. Nice to see you here.
Good afternoon everyone. This is Anisha Mukherjee. Today I will be presenting the research paper titled Decoding Women Entrepreneurship Landscape in India with my classmate Ritankar also, and with a huge guidance of our professor Dr. Rajashree Chatterjee. Thank you ma'am. Now coming back to the point, entrepreneurship has always been the heartbeat of economic growth. It derives innovation, creates job and open new platforms. In fact, with initiatives of our government like Startup India and Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana, our country has become the third largest startup ecosystem in the world. India now globally ranks second in the total funding raised by women-led startup in the country today. And there are more than 7,000 active women-led startups nowadays present in our India. Now, on this backdrop, I want to analyze the research which which I prepared, like decoding the women entrepreneurship landscape in India, and the further part, which is our research analysis, methodology, and objective, will discuss by my classmate. Thank you.
There are lots of research on the topic women entrepreneurship, but because of the time foundation, I am focusing on the PPT. Now I will conclude some objective of our research paper to explore the current scenario of the women entrepreneurship in the Indian economy, to study challenges faced by women entrepreneurs by conducting online survey, to assess the factor motivating women entrepreneurs to do businesses, to bring out the measures taken by the government to develop and boost women entrepreneurship in India, and to draw constructive conclusion and recommendation based on the study that may help different stakeholders in the field in the decision making process. After that, in the next slide, I am going to discuss about the research methodology featured from secondary data analysis. 3 government report from women and men report from the different sectors like PMMY scheme and a number of accounts has opened to the benefit of government scheme and a primary data analysis. Now I want Anisha to explain the other analysis and the finding of the data.
So, as you can see in the secondary data analysis, which is about women and men report, in the first chart, we observe the current scenario of women and entrepreneur and the led startups by them. According to the data from 2017 to 2025, we found that all the region states have performed very well, especially Maharashtra with a record of 20.73% startup of the total, and notably West Bengal accounts for 3.94% startups, while the northeastern states have relatively low startup. Now, coming to the next slide, which report is about the various which is about the account holder by women entrepreneurs under the Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana scheme account across the various states reflects a very positive outlook of women opening such bank accounts to pursue the benefit under the scheme for income generating micro enterprises. And in the last chart, as we can see, this is a report which illustrates the data across various Indian states company with the three key matrices, that is percentage of MSMEs registered in the state out of the total, percentage of employment and percentage of net turnover. In this chart also, we can see every region states has performed very well. Exceptionally, West Bengal occupies a share of 4, 7 and 5% respectively. In certain region like northeastern states, in certain states like northeastern states especially have performed, the performance are really poor and the reason for low percentage of share are yet to explore. Now coming to the end of our discussion with conclusion and recommendation of our secondary and primary data observed. From the above analysis, we have found very positive outlook from both secondary data and general public perception, as we have collected a primary data of 83 respondents also. But because of the time biasness, it's quite impossible to explain all of them, but you can find it in our research paper. Many initiatives has taken by both central and state government, which you can have a snapshot in our research paper. And people are very knowledgeable about all the government initiatives has taken by them. But it is also found that biasness is also a major issue, and women are still facing challenges because of this. So it is recommended to promote the facilities more positive structure and on technical advancement, especially in the AI platform, is also needed. Now, for better development schemes, government should promote more and more schemes. And last but not the least, promotion of education, family support and gender equality is much needed factor to empowering the woman. By fostering a supportive environment and providing necessary resources, we can unlock the potential of women entrepreneurs in India to contribute the nation's prosperity. So, to the best of our knowledge, our study contributes in literature terms of an in-depth study mainly carried out by the students' perception based on both primary and secondary sources to explore the current status of women entrepreneurship. And if we still left with some time, I would like to come to the limitation point, and Ritankar will gonna complete that page. गवर्नमेंट पॉलिसी से स्नैपशॉट का तो मैम गवर्नमेंट पॉलिसी प्राइमरी स्टडी टाइप के स्नैपशॉट গুলো দিতে পারবে পেপারের প্রাইমারি ডেটার একটু সাথে স্ন্যাপশট দাও আর পলিসি স্টার্ট পেপার আচ্ছা Here, so in our research paper, as you can see, there is a lot of central government scheme are taken by the government for the women entrepreneurs, which includes Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana scheme, which I have already mentioned, and except that there is also women startup policies and many state government initiatives has also been taken. There is a policy named Nari Shakti Prakash, Mahila Shakti Kendra, and the Startup India. That's all. Thank you, sir.
থ্যাংক ইউ ভেরি মাচ আমার একটা জিজ্ঞাসা আছে যে এই যে এমপাওয়ারমেন্ট হলো
Yes, sir.
আমরা দেখলাম যে উইমেন স্টার্টআপের একটা ডেটা পেলাম স্টেট ওয়াইজ তাতে সারপ্রাইজিংলি আমরা দেখছি যে মহারাষ্ট্রতে খুব হাই ইউপিতেও দেখলাম খুব হাই কেরালাতে কিন্তু খুব লো অথচ কেরালাতে লিটারেসি রেট বা এডুকেশন রেটটা খুব হাই তার মানে এন্টারপ্রেনিয়রশিপ মানে উইমেন স্টার্টআপ আর লিটারেসি এর মধ্যে কি একটা ইনভার্স রিলেশনশিপ দেখছি কেন দেখতে পারি বলে যাচ্ছে
স্যার একটা বায়াসনেস তো থেকেই যায়, কারণ মানে সবসময় রিসোর্সেস অ্যাভেলেবিলিটিটা থাকে না, সেক্ষেত্রে
রিসোর্স যেটা পরে ভেবে দেখি
আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে স্যার।
এডুকেশনের সাথে
না স্যার, এই রিসার্চ পেপারটা অ্যাকচুয়ালি মানে পিজি স্টুডেন্টসের পারসেপশন থেকে তো ইনডেপথ সেরকম ভাবে অ্যানালাইসিস করা হয়নি।
না পেপার খুব ভালো হয়েছে,
খুব ভালো দারুণ
যেটা বললেন ইনভার্স রিলেশনশিপ খুঁজে পাচ্ছি
আচ্ছা
এটা পরে
অবশ্যই
বলি
স্যার।
ফার্দার স্টাডি।
ঠিক আছে, থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ স্যার, থ্যাংক ইউ।
ভেরি ভেরি নেক্সট ডক্টর শারদা প্রসাদ দত্ত
জি স্যার, আমি good afternoon to all of you, to my respected teachers and to the chair. My topic is on gender bias and its post-pandemic impact on women-led innovation in India's tech sector, basically. So we know that the COVID-19 basically fundamentally reshaped the global economic landscape. It accelerates the digital transformation while simultaneously exposing the amplifying and pre-existing inequalities. We know that also that in women in entrepreneurship is a basically key driver in social development and economic growth. And please next slide. So my objective of the study, specific objective of the study, we have got two objectives for the study: to find out how far gender bias has affected women-led tech startup in getting funding, resources and chances to grow after the pandemic situation. And number two is post-pandemic challenges that have influenced the ability of women entrepreneurs. Next. My research methodology is based on the secondary data basically, and it is basically on descriptive and analytical design. It is an exploratory kind of research. Next. So this is my presentation and data analysis part starts. Here we can see the name of the women technopreneur, and we can see that after 2021 we could not see any notable changes or any notable women entrepreneur in India. Next, ma'am. So the problem that faced by women entrepreneur is venture capital gap. We can see the sources, data sources is from Reuters.com and Economic Times. That is venture capital gap. Another one is credit deficit. Another one is investors preconception. Next slide, ma'am. This is basically the focused area, that is digital division and technology access barriers. As per the National Family Health Survey data, only 33% women had ever used internet compared to 57% of men. And also in rural areas, 25% of women had internet access versus 49% of men. By 2024, women's mobile internet use rose slightly, but it is still lower than the men. So during COVID-19, there is a digital gap that made women entrepreneurs to move business online or to gain the benefit of e-commerce. Next. Socio-cultural and standard and mentoring problems. Around 43% of women entrepreneurs struggle because they do not get support from their families. Also, many families still see business are meant for men. This is a primordial concept for them that should be broken. We think that. Next, ma'am, please. The other challenges are basically by the end of 2024, around 73,000 startups had at least one women director, and about 7,000 active tech startups have a woman founder, making up just 7.5% of all startups. Basically, the percentage is lower than the expected thing. Next, please. So these are the government initiative and policy support that has been given by the government. That is our Stand Up India program, Women Entrepreneurship program, platform program. Then we have got TMG Disha. Then we have got Atmanirbhar Bharat. These are the things. The sources are given over here. Niti Aayog, StudyFact, and Reuters.com. So to conclude, Indian startup sector, startup economy after the pandemic has given entrepreneurs new chances, but still the growth is not sufficient for to be precise. And the progress have been made by the government, but it is not till up to the mark. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Just one thing I should mention that as per the data you have just represented here, I think after the COVID,
After COVID,
digital divide has been decreased.
digital divide has been decreased. Yes.
Is there any specific reason for that?
Actually, sir, after COVID-19, we are using that mobile and the dependency have been increased. So that's why.
Fine. Thank you. Next, empowering women entrepreneurs through education, a catalyst for economic growth by Madhumita. Here.
Oh. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to my presentation on empowering women entrepreneurship through education, a catalyst for economic growth. Today, we'll explore how education can unlock potential and drive innovation in women entrepreneurship. Education is a powerful tool for women's empowerment. It transforms social norms, challenges gender stereotypes, and provides pathways to economic independence. By equipping women with technical know how, leadership skills, and access to vital resources, education can help them succeed in business. Education plays a crucial role in shaping women's entrepreneurial journeys. It imparts hard skills like accounting and digital literacy, strengthens soft skills like communication and leadership, broadens horizons and facilitate networking and access to markets and investors. Despite the potential of women entrepreneurship, there are several systematic challenges that women face. These include limited access to finance and investment, social and cultural expectations, lack of mentorship and professional networks, and educational disparities in rural and marginalized communities. Let's look at some examples of women entrepreneurs who have made a significant impact. In India, we have Falguni Nair, the founder of Nika, Upasana Taku, the co-founder of MobiKwik, and Vinita Singh, the founder of Sugar Cosmetics. These women have revolutionized their respective industries and created successful business. Globally, initiatives like the Tory Burch Foundation's Capital Program, Cartier Women's Initiatives, and She Leads Africa are also making a significant impact. To support women entrepreneurs, policymakers, and stakeholders must recognize education as a strategic investment. This can be achieved by integrating entrepreneurship education at multiple levels, providing specialized incubators and seed funding for women, and fostering international collaboration and knowledge sharing. In conclusion, education is a powerful tool for empowering women entrepreneurs by transforming entrepreneurial intentions into sustainable ventures. Targeted programs can create ripple effects in communities, promoting inclusive growth. Coordinating action is necessary to unlock immense potential for innovation, employment, and equitable development. Thank you for your attention, and I hope this presentation has provided valuable insights into the importance of education in empowering women entrepreneurs.
Next, I would like to call Shoma Chakraborty.
Good afternoon, everyone. Empowering women, empowering society, a socio-political perspective of the reservation policy in India is my paper. Women have historically been marginalized in many areas of life, such as politics, society, and the economy and culture. To ensure equal status and protect gender rights, it is important to increase women's participations and provide them with reservations in different sectors. This article looks at various initiatives, gives a detailed analysis, and discuss the debates and government efforts related to women's reservation in India. Women's empowerment through entrepreneurship drives economic growth, social stability, and individuals' autonomy by enabling women to overcome traditional barriers and achieve financial independence. While entrepreneurship provides a vital platform for women's participation in the economy. Next. Understanding reservation policies. Reservation policies often enacted the context seeking to address historical inequalities, aim to provide affirmative actions for marginalized groups for women. Those policies typically guarantee a certain percentage of seats in educational institutions, public sector, employment, or political bodies. In the context of entrepreneurship, reservation can manifest professional access to government contracts, land allocation, financial schemes, or incubation support. Then, different kind of constitutional provisions we can see. First, the Indian Constitution empowers women through Articles 14, Article 15 and 16, which guarantee equality before the law, prohibit discriminations and ensure equal opportunity in public employment. Another, the 73rd Amendment also provides for women's reservation in local governments, promoting their participation in decision making. Next, recently Nari Shakti Vandan Adhinam, Women Reservation Act 2023, has added new articles providing for women reservation in Lok Sabha and legislative assemblies. Article 330A and Article 332A provides reservations for one-third seats reserved for women participation, state legislative assembly and Lok Sabha. Implementations across sectors. Local governance, we can say mandatory reservations, one-third seats for women in Panchayati Raj, public sectors, employment. Some states and the central government departments have implemented quotas for women in public sector's jobs. Education sector, reservation in educational institutions, particularly in professional courses, aim to boost a woman's access to higher educations and legislative bodies. The recent 106th Amendment aims to extend reservation to be Lok Sabha and state assemblies pending delimitation. Objective of women empowerment and entrepreneurship. Firstly, economic independence. Enable women to earn a living and support themselves and their families. Next, self-confidence. Boost self-esteem and confidence through business ownership and management. Decision making. Empower women to make decisions and take control of their lives and business. Social status. Enhance women's social standing and recognition in society. Role modeling. Inspire other women and girls to pursue entrepreneurship and leadership roles. Other legal provisions for women empowerment. Protections of Women from Domestic Violence Act 2005, Dowry Prohibition Act 1961, Prohibition of Child Marriage Act 2006, Equal Remuneration Act 1976, Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace Act 2013, and the Nari Shakti Vandan Abhinayam 2023. Those are provisions for women empowerment, for making women empowerment. Women empowerment in India. Initiatives like Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, self-help groups and reservation policies aim to empower women and enable them to contribute to the nation development. Next, very recently, Shukanya Samriddhi Yojana is a government-backed saving scheme launched in India under the Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao initiative. This scheme not only encourages long-term savings but also promotes gender equality by empowering families to invest in their daughters' futures. Impact of women empowerment. They are actually women empowered, actively participate decision making both within families and public life. However, consistent efforts are required to address remaining disparities and ensure inclusive development. Different kind of challenges we can see: discriminatory social norms, roles, stereotyping, low literacy, lesser employment opportunities, economic disparity, low political representation. Lastly, in view of the above discussion, it can be said that the reservation system cannot be a tool for the development of society, but this reservation system is supported with the aim of establishing justice and equality in society. This reservation has been taken with the aim of bringing the backward women community back to the mainstream of society. As a result, we see that women's empowerment has increased and along with the women entrepreneurship has also increased.
Next, Sarin Javi.
By the time the PowerPoint presentation is coming up, I would like to take this opportunity to wish you a very good evening, everyone. And I would like to thank the chairperson and our coordinators and the seminar committee and this very institution for providing me with this glistening opportunity of presenting my research paper to our distinguished guests and a very intellectual audience such as yourself. So, the topic for discussion that I have today is a comparative study where I am going to compare the role of a venture capitalists and angel investors in early stage of startups in India. To describe the kind of study which I've done, I would like to say that what kind of startup ecosystem do we have in India? The one which we have in India here is a dynamic and evolving one, growing in volume every day, very many different kinds of categories coming up every day. And this dynamism means that there are a lot of challenges and also opportunities which can be met with the help of proper investors and investments and proper investing decisions, for which we have two major investor types in India, which are venture capitalists and angel investors, who are both crucial but different in terms of philosophy, involvement and expectations, which we are going to discuss ahead in the research paper presentation. Pardon. The next slide. To discuss the comparison between them, I would like to tell you who are they first of all. Various researches across the globe have happened under the domain of angel investing and venture capital quoting the various researchers and their points, I would say that angel investors are high net worth individuals who utilize their private funds in order to fund the startups in extremely early stages. For example, seed stage and pre-seed stage. Something which is not seen in the case of venture capitalists, because venture capitalists are institutional in nature. They follow a more formal approach and go for startups which have already proven certain amount of traction and have already entered the market and have captured a market share. Talking about the research gap and literature review, there are many researches which have happened across the globe about this. All right, thank you, sir. Speaking of the objectives, my objectives for this research paper have been that how to compare the two types of investors on the basis of source and size of investment that they give, the stage of involvement, when do they involve themselves in the venture, the difference between the decision-making speed and flexibility, comparing the role and efforts toward the overall startup development. How much do they develop instead of just providing the financial support to the startup, and assessing the equity expectations and control preferences, how much control do they demand for the investment that they make, and the evaluation of exit strategies and return expectations in the end of their investment. Speaking of the methodology, it is a descriptive one and a qualitative one because I have utilized secondary data which have been collected through startup reports, for example, KPMG report of 2021, and online funding data sources databases like Crunchbase and Truxin. And I have also included a case study of multiple companies, startups of India, which have utilized angel investment and startup and venture capital for their growth. Now, the comparison between angels and VCs. I am going to be very brief about this because of the given time constraint. And to speak generally, I would say that angel investors and venture capitalists both are similar in certain contexts, but still have a lot of points of differences. For example, angel investors, they utilize their personal funds, whereas venture capitalists are more professional like that. The range of investment lies between 10 lakhs to 2 crores. But for venture capitalists, the investment range is too high. For example, it starts from 2 crores and goes above without having a maximum limit. As I've mentioned earlier, angel investors, they come in a seed or pre-seed stage when the venture is extremely young. But venture capitalists, they come in very late in the game after the venture has been established very nicely in the market. For example, Series A funding process onwards. Angel investors provide a very good amount of mentorship compared to venture capitalists because they have a more personalized approach. Their approach is informal in nature, so they can give strategic advising, they can help in creating networks, and they personally engage with the startup on a daily and operational basis. However, that is not seen in the case of venture capitalists because they are more structured and formally involved. They like to stand and help the venture from a distance, providing only strategic financial help and not a daily operational basis. When it comes to equity expectations, it is quite a simple point because angel investors, they do not want a lot of equity stakes. They are happy with the little amount of equity stakes that they get, but that is not seen in the case of venture capitalists because they demand higher equity stake and they want more control. For example, they demand board membership, and they demand veto power in case of certain important decisions. The case studies which I have included are the examples of Boat 2016, founded by Aman Gupta, the famous shark of the Shark Tank of India, and Samir Mehta. They actually were the ones who took they went to multiple angel investors and venture capitalists at the beginning of their venture, but they were recognized by one particular angel investor, which was Fireside Ventures. Now, coming to InShorts also began with angel investing, but later on, after reaching a certain level of operations and creating the revenue which was required for attracting the venture capitalists, they were able to attract the venture capitalists. It was because of the venture capitalists that they were able to scale and expand their business. Razorpay. Razorpay is another unicorn, and it is a unicorn because of the contribution of venture capitalists. It is now valued at $1 billion, and it is the gift of the capital provided by venture capitalists such as Sequoia Capital and Tiger Global. Dunzo. Dunzo was a small and quirky idea which was limited to Bengaluru, and it started its journey with angel investment, but later on, because of the help of venture capitalists, it was able to scale its investment so much that it invited the first ever venture capital investment of Google in India. My findings of the research, yes sir. My findings of the research are quite similar to the comparative study which I've created, that the roles of venture capitalists and angel investors are, although venture capitalists and angel investors are quite different, but their roles are extremely complementary and not conflicting. Because if you see that the case studies, for example, InShorts, the case study of Dunzo, they both started with angel investing, but then they went on to take venture capital in order to scale. So they are both complementary in nature. And as a matter of fact, it was mentioned in the report of 2022 by Mason and Harrison that the complementarity between angel investors and venture capitalists compared to their rivalry is more important for the growth of startups in India. I would like to conclude by saying that yes, it is a true fact that India's entrepreneurship landscape is extremely vast and is ever expanding and highly dynamic. And both angels and VCs are major vital investors in our ecosystem, although there are certain differences between them. And the most important point of the day, because the heart of this program, as stated before, that we are trying to encourage the budding entrepreneurs of today, which are the tycoons of tomorrow. So it is the decision of the budding entrepreneurs as to which investor type would they like to go with. Their decision matters the most because they understand their business better than anyone else. And that is exactly what the recommendations constitute of. All right. So I have already mentioned what are the recommendations which we can make to startups. For example, they should choose based on stage. For example, angel investors are the best investors if they are still in an early stage, and once they have proliferated their sales, they can go on to choosing venture capitalists. They should focus more on the strategic fit and not just the amount of capital which they get, and they should understand the trade-offs. What are trade-offs? It is a quite simple concept. What am I going to get after what am I going to give? For example, if you want a lot of investment and mentorship and everything which you want along with your investment, there are higher equity stakes and there are many more things which you're going to have to give to your investors. So this is where I believe I am going to conclude my paper, and thank you so much for this opportunity.
So we have two more online papers.